Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about classes and objects in Python. So let's get started with it. So first of all, what are classes? So a class is a user-defined blueprint or prototype from which objects are created. Basically, class is a structure for our objects. If we want to create object, then we have to make a class for it. It's basically provide a means of bundling data and functionality together. We can define various functions and attributes. Attributes are basically the variables which we define in a class, and behavior means the methods or the functions, whatever you want to say, which are present in the classes are the behavior. Creating a new class creates a new type of object, allowing new instances of that type to be made. We're going to see with this with an example that how we create a class, how we create an object, and how we define attributes and variables. So let's see. So first of all, to create a class, you have to use a name known class, which is important for creating class, and then you have to give a name to your class. Here I have created a class named animal, and you have to put colon to create a class, and you have to then indent whatever you write in the class. So this is the basically the syntax to create a class. Then we have defined a method in the class. We have already seen what are methods or functions in Python. So animals have different characteristics. So I have defined a method character which represent a characteristic, general characteristic. And here I have used self. I'm going to tell you about self few minutes later. Let's see this function. You already know the syntax of function, that we use a semicolon and then we indent in the function. Here I printed four legs, two eyes, and mammal. So this is general, like in general, what are animals? They have four legs or two eyes and mammal. Or you can write whatever you want. I have written simple print statement here. And then what I have done is uh, I have created an object of this class. So how do we create an object of a class? Suppose, let's take an example. In what you do in Python, suppose you want to take an integer. So what do? You write I equals to 2 and you get an integer. What if you want to define a float? So you write 3.5 and this becomes float. So basically we don't write the type of the object in Python, but these are the objects basically, that integer, float, and whatever you define like string. These all are objects of their respective classes. Like there is an integer class, string class, float class, and so many classes. So here this animal is a class. It creates a different data type or whatever you can say it, and dog is the object of this class. And if we want to create an object, we have to write the class name and the parentheses. So here I have created an object of this class, and then I'm printing the type of this object. So you can see I have written a print statement here, print the type of dog. So when I run this, it says that class main dot animal. Main is the methodology and the animal is the class. Main is basically the module which we have created here, and the animal is the class which we created. Suppose I just create an integer here, like a I equals 3, and now I print. Let's run this. I am here printing the type of I, and I'm running it. So it shows that class int. So there are so many classes in Python. The only difference is that here class animal, we are creating the class. This is my own class, I have designed it, and integer is already the built-in class. So all things are the same. Basically we are creating our own data type by creating a class. So now we will see that how do we call this method from the given class. Can I use this? Like I'm just simply basically calling the function. Let's run this. Okay. It here. Sorry, I have a mistake here. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so here it shows error. Why it shows error? Because we have not defined, like we have not taken an object to call this function basically. So how do we call this function? So we'll do like animal dot care, and we write here dog. Animal dot character. Animal is the class, character is the method, and dog is the object. So this by this we can call a function in class. See here it runs fine here. So here we are, first of all we are naming the class which is animal, then we're using dot which helps to call the function, and then we are passing the passing our object basically dog, and then that's how we call a function of a class. There is another method for the same. We can also write like this. Let's run this and see. So basically both are the same thing. In the second part we are first writing the name of the object and then calling the function. And in first we are first and in the first example we are first writing the name of the class and then calling the function. So both are basically the same, but generally we use this syntax because it is more easy to implement, and it's easily understandable, and it seems like so perfect, like take a object and then call a method. Similarly we can have like different object. Suppose cat, and I write the same animal, and then I call cat dot correct. Let's run it, and here we have our result. So this is very simple to understand, like just write the name of the object and then call the method. Why this is important? Because and class can have so many objects, so we have to choose a particular object to call the method of a class. That's why we have to write cat dot character, otherwise it will won't run. Now what is self? So basically suppose I take an example over here. Int s equals to python. Okay, here I have taken a string, and what do you do to calculate the length of string? Let me calculate the length. Okay, it's okay, now it will run. What's the issue?